IED 2020 Awards live to your homes.
Welcome to all of you. The real VIPs are here with us in the form of the award winners for this event. So welcome also to you and to all of our colleagues. This event was my first after I joined ADB almost a year ago now. And I'm especially excited to be here because this is the first time that apparently this event has been on person to person since 2019. Hosting this event is my favorite task in IED for two reasons. First, the event affirms the importance of evaluation as a shared responsibility of IED and operational management and staff. For all of ADB activities, projects, both sovereign and non-sovereign, TA and country programs, operations self-assesses and IED validates. We're working towards a common objective, but as you know, from two mutually reinforcing perspectives. This partnership is crucial if evaluation is to be used for accountability to our shareholders, represented by the board. It's also essential for evaluation to be used for learning, to ensure that the lessons learned from our many operations and activities are gathered and fed back into current and future strategies and programs. The second reason why I really love this event is it rightly celebrates an important task that often does not get much visibility or recognition, that of self-evaluation. It is also one of the most difficult tasks that our operational staff have to perform. Those of us who work in the field professionally already know how hard it is to evaluate, to do evaluation well. We have to gather evidence, we have to analyze it rigorously, and we have to come to the right conclusions. But self-evaluation poses an additional challenge of having enough self-awareness and professional detachment, and it still to come to the appropriate conclusions despite overseeing a program. So that's why the winners are here to be celebrated. They went through a very rigorous selection process based on pre-ascertained criteria to ensure the selection was fair. So thank you all for joining us today. Congratulations again to the winning teams. Enjoy the rest of the event, and you'll shortly get to know more about the winners. Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me to speak on behalf of the DEC on this important occasion. Now on its ninth year, IED Awards recognize the best self-evaluation reports for both sovereign and non-sovereign operations in ADB. Independent evaluation departments evaluates the development effectiveness of the Asia Development Bank, and their work provides evaluative evidence to help ADB deliver better services and results to its client countries. The board appreciates very much IED's work, and I'm certain that these awards given by IED will incentivize the bank staff to do better quality self-evaluations, which are so important for improving the design and implementation of the ongoing and the future ADB-financed projects. As IED DG Manny just mentioned, independent evaluation not only supplements self-evaluation on the aspects of quality and learning, but also provides a different perspective in terms of strengthening sufficiency and credibility of evidence-based results. In addition, it can build upon the findings of the self-evaluation, which are closer to the ground. More importantly, independent evaluation highlights the need to harmonize the use of best practices across ADB. This event is a clear recognition that learning from experience is vital in improving the way ADB works. The COVID-19 pandemic's impact has been massive and has already changed how we live and how we conduct our operations. And in this new era, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that evaluation results and the lessons feed back into ADB's future operations and project design. To all the awardees, I congratulate you and trust that this awarding ceremony will inspire you and other colleagues to continue to strive for excellency and to be role models in the years to come. I also would like to congratulate the project teams which prepared the winning self-assessment reports. This occasion has offered us the opportunity to recognize their invaluable contributions to the institution and the work that underlies each report. Again, congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, first of all, welcome everybody, and Vice President, the board members, colleagues, everyone, for this important event. When I was just watching this video, it kind of made me sad because the last part where we had these robust discussions and at the beginning, and then toward the end of the video, he showed the last 2 years of virtual, and then it kind of reminded me of the experience we had, which was good to connect, but still it's not the same as the face-to-face that we do today. And I'm so happy to see everyone here, and a lot of the meetings that's happening. This is really the ADB that I remember that I wanted to come back to. So I'm very happy to be here. So, thank you for joining this awarding ceremony this year. This is the 9th one, I believe, and this, as ED Liu mentioned, it's about independent evaluation playing a key role in promoting accountability and learning. And the second part is what I think is actually even more important, because we all need to promote ADB becoming a learning organization, and for us to do that, each and every one of us have to preach that and live by that. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, because I think a lot of the staff members and management are great professionals and really passionate about the work we do. So sometimes when we hear something that we don't want to hear, we react and we explain, giving an impression that we're being defensive or kind of not agreeing with whatever. But I think that's just a knee-jerk reaction. But people do take issues seriously, and when we deal with anything, when you have a group of people, we always appreciate the people that you trust to tell you something that you don't want to hear, right? Because otherwise, if you have everyone telling you what you want to hear, the person's kind of useless in terms of helping you to be what you should be. So promoting learning organization is really, really important, and therefore the IED's role is very important. And also, as colleagues mentioned, the self-evaluation, which is the focus, is very important. And since the colleagues ourselves, we know what's actually happening on the ground, we have in-depth knowledge. If you remove the defensive reaction, I think we do get it. So we need to make sure that that culture is promoted across the bank. And the combination of the self-evaluation and the independent evaluation also play a key role. Those two parts have to really complement with each other. So in this year's awarding, I understand is focusing on resilience and dedication of our staff to ensure that ADB responds and delivers high-quality support to our DMCs. And this is particularly important because you have, remember recently there was a visitor from CGD, Scott Morris. He talks about the poly crisis. So we have multiple crises that's ongoing. Some are being wrapped up. Hopefully, like the COVID-19. Others are emerging. Others been around. It's going to continue, like climate change. So the life is really, really complex. So we do need to make use of this this mechanism and promote the resilience and dedication of our staff to do the job properly. So I would like to congratulate everybody who's been involved in this exercise, again, for a very successful 2022 of ADB becoming a learning organization to do good for our developing country. So let me stop here and congratulate everyone, especially you, for organizing this again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I regret not being able to join, but I'm really glad that many of you could join. So thank you for that. As was mentioned earlier, the selection process for IED Awards is quite rigorous, and they are based on predetermined criteria, just to ensure that the selection is objective and fair. For this year, we reviewed 98 PCRs, 28 XARRs, 92 TCRs, and 3 CPS final reviews done by the different departments. So as you can tell, competition is quite tough. And the winners, the key criteria for the winners are based on the quality of presentation, the quality of analysis, and importantly, the lessons and recommendations from self-evaluation. So as was mentioned earlier by Saleha, today we will be awarding 3 best PCRs, 1 best XARR, 2 best TCRs, and 1 best CPS FRV for the country partnership review. And the IED Cup for 2022, we go to the department which has the most number of satisfactory self-assessment reports in terms of quality. The timeliness, of course, is very important, and the variances between the assessment, self-assessments, and the IED validation. So with that quick background, I'm very pleased to be presenting this year's Best PCR Report Awards. And in no particular order, the first award goes to PARD for the PCR for the Cyclone PAM School Reconstruction Project in Vanuatu. The next Best PCR Award goes to Indonesia, the Financial Market Development and Inclusion Program, SARD. Last but not the least, PCR Award goes to the Second West Bengal Development Finance Program, SARD.
Everybody. I'm very pleased to be here for the first time, and really this is a great occasion that underscores the role of evaluation, both independent and self-evaluation, as crucial tools to assess our effectiveness, learn from experiences, and improve our future operations. I must say that there is no good corporate governance without a sound evaluation system. ADB recognizes the need to help countries manage development risks and sustainability. Prior knowledge of what works and what does not, which comes through evaluation, plays a crucial role in decision-making and help us to do always and even better. This is even more important when we must react to crises such as COVID pandemic. It was mentioned by ED Liu, where a fast and adequate responses makes the difference. ADB non-sovereign operations support private investments in the region that will have a significant development impact and accelerate sustainable and inclusive growth. The extended annual review report is the instrument for self-evaluation of ADB's non-sovereign operations. It's done once in the lifetime of each project in the ADB portfolio when the project is sufficiently mature. The extended annual review report complements independent evaluations and is a key element for measuring ADB development effectiveness and meeting performance accountability requirements. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all the winners of the 2022 IED Awards. Most specifically, congratulations to the China Environment Fund 3 team for winning the Best Extended Annual Review Report Award this year. Also, I would like to thank IED for recognizing and awarding excellence in self-evaluation, which, as I have mentioned, it's a key ingredient for good corporate governance. Once again, thank you all, and a successful continuing of the day, and thank you.
So this year's XARR was, the awardee was really well written. It was concise, fully conformed with the non-sovereign guidelines. The project itself was unsuccessful, but the team was very candid in the discussion of the issues during the implementation. And the XARR actually benefited from inputs from both ORM and PSOD. ORM was involved in this project as in an administration capacity during the investment period of this project, since it went into a workout situation. But we could clearly see, as part of the XARR discussion, a lot of insights coming through in the progress highlights, issues, and in the lessons sections of this XARR. So congratulations, well done to the China Environment Fund 3.
So I would like congratulate to all the awardees for the successful achievement in this year. In our philosophy, actually, we're talking about like the power of the role models is infinitive. Yeah, so this is something can inspire us. So I hope this rewards will be truly inspiration for our future work. So I appreciate this very much. And in the program, I also saw some best project was SARD. So congratulations in OG1 to SARD team as well. And I hope, I don't know whether maybe some also was CWRD, if not, catch up in the future. Yeah. Take this opportunity, I would also like to extend my highly appreciation to the IED, the team, to the strong leadership led by Manny and Sonny, and also to all of the IED's staff for their extraordinary efforts during the year, the very challenging year. So this is excellent. I do like to appreciate that. Maybe a couple of points. First, in operation, I really impressed that one AD team, IED is really the important part of the YADB team. So this is a very challenging period. One ADB approach played a significant role and made a significant difference so during the year. For instance, our APWEX, CSF as well, some emergency assistant. So without IED's contribution, I don't think ADB can make such great success for the timely support our DMCs. So this is my first impression. My second impression is the strategic engagement with our DMCs. So IED also is a great support for the strategic partnership with our DMCs. For instance, this year in OG1, we have the CPS in Kyrgyz, Kazakhstan, and also preparing for the CPS in India as well. So your recommendations, I have to say, is a very critical for our team to formulate very relevant the CPS to work with our DMCs in a strategic way. So this is also my very impressive. Thirdly, I also would like to highly value the IED's critical role in our regional cooperation and integration. Currently, I understand IED is working on the evaluation of the performance of the CARIC. So we all know yesterday we had the CARIC conference, the 21st CARIC Ministerial Conference, very successfully conducted. Through that meeting, we do see our DMCs very much a high expectation of working with ADB during the very critical time. So I would like to say IED's job will be more important than ever before, your evaluation. So this is something. But one thing I like to take this opportunity, as Wu Chong and many you mentioned about the capacity building, in-housing capacity building in the future. So this is really something for even like departments, the performance evaluation. I hope we can continue work with IED in terms of the capacity building in the future, so we can do the better job. So in conclusion, I would like to say that we're talking a lot about the doctor. ADB is the doctor to our clients. I also like to say that IED is also like the internal, the physical exam doctor for our operation as well. So your check will be really help us to make our operation body healthier, stronger, and agile. So with that, congratulations again as well. Thank you very much.
I just want to start by saying that country evaluations, country assessments are really, really hard to do. So I'm really pleased to present the best CPS XARR Award this year to Sri Lanka. The report aptly described the country context, which we all know was quite a tricky one this year, and also the portfolio performance. Benefiting from really good diagnostics, that's always very important. The report provided a systematic review of cross-cutting strategic agendas and analysis of the performance of individual projects and sector-level issues. Remarkable was the inclusion of a scoring matrix for each project, and how these different ratings then added up to performance at the country level as a whole. The report also provided a thorough and informative discussion of ADB's COVID-19 response. And overall, it was candid and thorough and proposed a set of lessons and recommendations which will be useful to guide the future operations and inform the next CPS. So well done, Sri Lanka, and thank you very much.
Hello everybody, and first of all, can I offer my congratulations to all the award winners today. Well done on your work. Secondly, if I could thank IED for this event and for its ongoing work. It's very important for the organisation in so many ways, and I'm certainly looking forward to the report on the procurement system 2014 to 2021. That will be an important guide for the work that we're doing on procurement. Thirdly, I'd want to talk about evaluation in the context of the work we're doing to make the organisation a stronger organisation. The body of work that IED has done is an important resource for us in that exercise. It brings together not just evidence, but also perception, which is quite important. So many spoke a little bit about the eagle, and the perspicacity and acuity of vision. I should have practiced that, shouldn't I have, Manny? And acuity of vision it provides. But the interesting thing about the Eagle is that it's got panoramic vision. It's got a field of vision of 340 degrees rather than the 180 degrees that we've got. And I interpret that to be the importance of evaluation being informed by the widest possible sense of the environment in which the organisation is working and its objectives. We've got a world with much change underway, much complexity and much challenge, and we want the organisation to be stronger and more effective. And being informed by that vision, I think, is a really important thing for the organisation. So thank you to IED for all it does in that context. Thank you very much.
ADB has a strong reputation as a project bank, but it is also very much a technical assistance bank. And so much of what ADB does on the TA side is critical for the success and sustainability of what it does on the project side. And so TA is very important, and it's a great pleasure to have this opportunity to recognize TCRs as an important instrument for learning from TA operations. So in no particular order, we're going to recognize two TCRs. The first awardee for Best TCR was Coherent, provided comprehensive discussion of the TA during its implementation, including implementation arrangements, changes that were undertaken, the rationale behind these changes, and detailed achievements against the performance targets in the DMF. This TCR provided useful lessons, highlighting, among other things, the importance of country context as a key consideration in addressing the evolving capacity needs in the DMC, in DMCs that it covered as an important aspect of sustainability of results. The first award for the best TCR goes to Enhancing Governance and Capacity Development as Driver of Change, Regional TA 9061. The next awardee for Best TCR provided a clear story of the TA implementation and presented a sound assessment of its actual performance against the planned deliverables. It also provided pertinent lessons and amply explained the context from which the lessons were derived. Among the lessons highlighted were the importance of 1, ensuring project readiness through close coordination with the recipient government on internal approval processes to avoid delays. 2, putting in place backup measures to address unforeseen circumstances. And 3, building the technical and procurement capacities of the government officials to improve knowledge in the new areas supported by the TA and to facilitate effective delivery of outputs. The winner for the Best TCR Award goes to Sri Lanka, supporting feasibility study and survey to adopt liquefied natural gas power generation to diversify energy mix.
I just want to recognise the fact that we're here celebrating honesty and critical self-reflection, which I think is so important and not always necessarily encouraged or a really obvious part of the culture here at ADB. So we heard from Shinjini talking about the importance of being objective. Sani was saying how important it is to be honest. And I'm particularly excited about the fact that we made an award to a project that was rated unsuccessful, but we're celebrating the fact that it was candid. And both Nathan and Joanne talked about the importance of being candid in the criteria. So when we're doing the organizational review, one of the things that we've said is a really key strength of ADB is that we have deep understanding of our clients, our countries, their problems. And that can't be in people's heads, it has to be institutionalized. And the self-assessments and the work of ID are really critical in that. So I just want to celebrate the honesty, and it's a part of our cultural transformation. So thank you.
I'm very delighted to be in this event because this shows the smiling face of the IED. And I can tell you that you would not have seen so many smiling faces in an event which IED organizes. Because the other side of IED are those dreaded reports that everybody, when they're presented to the board and they point out all the deficiencies, rightly so, which they have observed in their independent evaluation. And the fact that this award ceremony started in 2014. I'm sure IED was in existence even before that. It goes to show that I think the entire concept of evaluation has been enriched, because it is not just trying to show the shortcomings in what we were attempting to do or what we've done, but it is also equally the recognition of all the excellent work that has been done. So thank you very much, Manny, for that. I just wanted to touch upon two other things. One is that I have felt that one of the biggest challenges for people who work in development financial institutions is to operate within the boundaries and yet fulfill the principles for which you have been created. So there is a constant tug of war, especially for the private sector, between the lines which are drawn by ORM, very rightly so, and the conscience which IED represents. I suppose I can say that IED is some kind of a conscience keeper of an organization, although when it comes to an individual, I don't know whether that organ can be identified in any human anatomy. But yes, every organization, every individual has something inside which keeps telling that person or that organization that you need to talk to yourself again and see whether you are fulfilling the objectives for which you've been created. One of the good things which, and lasting things which I have learned is that even if it comes to the private sector, which is generally associated with investing for profit, I think ultimately the bottom line becomes very fulfilling if it has a sustained impact on human lives. And I recall yesterday in one of the interventions which one of the EDs made, he referred to that assistance which ADB was providing as a story which he would like to tell his grandchildren. So I think that is the kind of lasting impact that we are all looking for. I am sure that as ADB now focuses on climate shift and private sector shifts, and as if the burden of implementing all the SDGs was not enough, now we are entering into more challenging areas. And as we enter these challenging areas and try to fulfill the expectations that are from the MDBs, I think two factors will become very important. One is, do we have the fear of failure? And fear of failure, according to me, is a good thing. It is not desirable if it makes you risk averse. But you talk to any person who has excelled in his field, whether it is public speaking, football, sports, academic, the other side of fear of failure is the anxiety for success. And I think that is a very positive driving force. Nobody wants to fail. That doesn't mean that you don't want to try. But if you have the anxiety of success, then you make that extra effort to make sure that you're achieving the results which you want to achieve, and at the same time, you're fulfilling the expectations from others. And the second thing is that the independent evaluation which is done, I think it needs to be independent, it needs to be objective, but I think independence does not mean absence of empathy. And empathy is not to be compassionate or considerate or make a concession for somebody. It's just to understand the larger reality. So I'm very happy that the IED does recognize the good work that has been done, and I am hopeful that it will continue to, as Manny said, know thyself. It should compel everybody in the organization to be mindful of the larger objective that we are supposed to fulfill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and good morning to everyone. And I would like to say thank you very much, IED, for the IED Awards, and thank you for the recognition last year. I must say that it was great for IED to recognize PARD last year because it really brought a lot of happiness to my team, because everyone really does put in a lot when we do self-evaluation. Self-evaluation really is very important. It complements independent evaluation, and self-evaluation is something that we can actually do ourselves, even during project implementation, for us to undertake formative self-evaluation to do self-correction in the middle of a project. So this is something that we keep encouraging our colleagues, and in fact, this is what we undertake. Parts of it we undertake during our review missions, particularly midterm review missions. So it's really great to be able to be here today and speak about the commitment of all of our colleagues to doing better evaluation work. And thanks to IED for also the capacity building that's taking place in countries. As you very well know, one thing that Shinjini in my team had already said is the importance actually of partnership with the government, with the implementing agency, with the executing agency to come up with a good completion report or self-evaluation report. And here for us to actually undertake that, it's very important to build their own capacity in self-evaluation. So I am very grateful also to all of the capacity building activities IED has been supporting all these years in all of our members, not only in the Pacific, but also throughout the region. So with that, again, thank you, and we look forward to continuing our coordination and partnerships in improving our development results. Thanks.
So it's now time for the final award of the day, which is the Best Operations Department Award. The department is commended for having the most number of satisfactory self-assessment reports in terms of quality, timeliness of submission, and of course the lowest variance in the assessments between the self-assessments and the validations of IED. So now I'm very pleased to announce that this year's IED Cup winner and Best Operations Department is Private Sector Operations Department. Congratulations, Suzanne.